It is my honor and pleasure to present my dear Raluca Ioana Man. She is our chair for Cyprus and Romania. And Raluca, we met some years ago and been always impressed by her strengths and her drive. Raluca Ioana Man is the executive director of RSEVEN Ltd, which operate in Europe, the United Arab Emirates, China, and Singapore. And she's an expert, and she's going to tell us more about why branding and what about brandness. And she really helped me to find some name for my own expression. And I want her to tell you what is her business about, because really is marvelous what she does and the way how she does it. Welcome, Raluca, our dear chair for Cyprus and Romania.
Thank you so much, my dearest Viola. Thank you, Olga. Thank you so much, my dearest Viola. You're always so kind, and I'm so grateful for your amazing words, as usual. And I have to start with this. What beautiful vibes, and what a beautiful way to end up a week and start your weekend with all these amazing creative women and men. So we don't make any discrimination because I believe in gender equality. Thank you so much for having me. And if you tell me, I'll share my screen because I have a small presentation. Why? Because when we have to talk about branding, it's something that, I don't know, it's my passion. And I always like to say that you should follow your passion in everything and anything you do. So I will talk a little bit about the power of personal branding and how to build a powerful brand. I could talk for ages, but I will do my best to not go over the time. So let me just start my presentation. So what is personal brand? Personal branding is such a popular word, but what does it actually mean? And I like what Jeff Bezos said, and I can 100% relate with that. Your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. Times change, so lately, everything we do, our businesses, our products or services are not the same as years ago. It's not what we sell and what we tell to our clients is what they say about us. And usually this happens when we are not there. Always when building a brand and a personal brand, there are certain things that we should consider. And because we all have attitudes and beliefs and preferences based on our experiences, we should consider and have in mind always that the most powerful brands are always authentic and consistent and viable and valuable. And the same qualities apply to personal brands as well. And why is personal brand so important? The foundation of any business, of any brand, is personal brand. It's you and your story behind. And in our days, it's no longer enough to have an exceptional CV to upgrade or advance your career. It's now necessary to make sure that all the information you find about yourself are the real ones. And I always like to say, if you're not telling your own story, then someone else is going to do it for you. And let me give you an example. If you're going to go and buy a new smartphone, you're not going to ask the sales advisor to put his or she's fingerprint on your new smartphone. Your fingerprint is going to be there. So the question is, how would you like to have your personal brand presented? By someone else or by you telling your story? And there are many reasons why you should work and develop a strong, a powerful personal brand. Building a positive reputation will increase your chances to be recommended, advertised, known. And by understanding and optimizing your personal brand, you will be part of certain associations. Creative Women, number one. If some of the audience is not yet a member, please go and become one. And with a strong brand, you differentiate yourself from others. You put your unicity out there and you maximize your career potential. And when talking about personal branding, we should start with asking ourselves, what is our current personal brand? And because branding and personal branding, it's not a logo or just a marketing campaign, it's an identity, it's a feeling, it's a perception. We should consider that. And we should always think about how people feel when they get in touch with our personal brand. And then we can talk about attributes and our vision and core values and trust. And trust is earned, not gained. And if we build our personal brand based on our core values and on our purpose and vision, it's impossible not to succeed. And you can start very easy by asking yourself what makes you special, like greatest strength. And I suggest SWOT analysis, which is the easiest, but so helpful. And what differentiates yourself from others. Someone said, I don't remember right now, leave in the message if you know who said that quote, but don't be afraid to be different. Be afraid and be stressed to be the same as everyone else. Don't follow the crowd, make the crowd follow you. And then ask yourself, how does your uniqueness translate to value, your more significant accomplishments, and why do people come to you for? And then, what do you want to be known for? And in some of my personal development intense coaching, this question is changed, and I use a more strong one, which is, if you're gonna die tomorrow, what would you like to be remembered for? And the last but not least, what do you want others to think when they hear your name? This is so important. And if you answer very honest to that question, you might change the way you do things, or you might upgrade or adjust. And then we should seek and learn to accept feedback. We're humans. We don't always like to hear and accept criticism. It's not something easy, but it's something so important. And especially negative feedback should be the one that we should follow, because it's the constructive one. And if someone takes time to give you that feedback, it's very important. And we talk about the perception of others, if it's consistent with your own perception of yourself. I suggest as well talking to trusted colleagues, not your friend, because between us, we not always tend to say exactly how it is, and we tend to wrap it up in a pink with a pink bow, the feedback. The 360-degree survey is possible, and reviewing past performance reviews, especially self performance. And that's why I said self, because in order to strengthen your brand, you have to start with self, because everything should start with self. And we talk about self-reflection, how your road to building a very powerful personal brand should start. And it's extremely important to start by knowing and understanding who you are, by being your best advocate. Infuse your personality in anything and everything you do, and share, be you. Share content that resonates. Don't be afraid to share your opinion, beliefs, or ideas. And network. Contact those people who resonate with you. Get in touch with association and organization that can support you or have similar goals or beliefs like you do. And then determine what's your goal, who is your target audience, how does your current brand position you to achieve your goal, and do you need to make any changes? And then we move to relevant adjustment, and we talk about filling gaps and beginning to act. Filling up, we talk about education and experience and relationships. We talk about improving and learning new skills. It's not a shame and it's not wrong to never stop learning. New experiences and life lessons. And again, don't be afraid to ask if you need support or you don't know something. And building strong relationship. It's so important to know what and when and how those relationships should be built, and then begin to act. Introduce yourself, Again, tell your own story. Also have your elevator pitch, a very important one, because again, if I meet you one day on the street and I'm going to ask you, who are you? What are you going to answer? And if we talk about, you have 1 minute to, I don't know, close a killer deal or lose it, and you need to prove that through your elevator pitch. What's that elevator pitch? And speak the language. Here is very important. And I've realized that after studying many years and doing a lot of research in human behavior and body language and micro expression and dark psychology and all this, because speaking the language is so important. And we don't speak the same language because we all have different types of personalities and we have different tempers and different traits and we like different things. And my truth is not necessarily your truth. So it's so important to put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand what you have to do in order that the language, it's on a common base at least. Nobody is expecting the language to be 100% the same, but to be there. And I'm repeating myself with share your story. Who you are and why you do what you do. This is extremely important. And then showcase your brand by building influential relationships, by getting involved in cross-functional projects, by using volunteering to strengthen or develop skills. Through volunteer, you can discover a lot of things about your limiting belief, about your limits, about what you like, what you don't like. Do it. One example, go to a center where poor kids with cancer are, and then you realize that you have to count your blessing and you realize that you can do more and you do your best to do more. And also take on a leadership role in a relevant organization. We're many times afraid to take a role because we don't like to be in charge. We like to be, not all of us, but some of us, we like to be told what to do. That's wrong. We all have a leader within, so unleash that leader and start a website or a blog. Again, you're going to learn a lot and you're going to practice your skills. And few from the last ones, how to leverage social media. We talk about choosing your platforms, do it wisely again, by knowing who's your target audience, which social media platforms do they use, your target audience, know what you like, and few options that we're talking about: blogging and microblogging and video and audio sites and image posting. You can have not only one, more, we all do, but we need to make sure how we post and if our content it resonates with those certain platforms. And then we talk about establishing your value by maximizing your brand through social media, and it requires bi-directional engagement. Then we talk about what do you have to offer, if it's your own content, if it's a curated content, or it's just engagement, and make deeper connection, connect offline. It's nice to be on social media and make connections there, but especially when you have the possibility and you met someone who's from the same country or city like you, go deeper with that connection and arrange a lunch and get to know each other and network face to face, especially now when things are a little bit more relaxed, and hopefully will stay like this and no more lockdowns. And create a social media plan. I love plans, I love strategies and systems. Commit to consistent activity. I like to use always my 3C: commitment, consistency, and creativity. That's why I love being part of this amazing organization. Manage your time. Plan what amount of time you spend on social media. Use automated scheduling tools. I'm just mentioning my favorite ones that I use, or my team uses, Hotsuite and Canva, and track your activity, because let's use social media to work for us, not against us. Time, it's a valuable resource. Let's use it wisely. And how do you manage your brand? Be proactive. Promote your accomplishment. Tip, self-promotion, not bragging. Maximize your participation in meetings and groups. Don't just participate, be of value. Communicate effectively and efficiently. Tip, first step for an efficient and an effective communication is active listening, not just hearing. We need to learn to truly listen and stay relevant, to the point, clear and concise. Don't complicate things. Less is more. And again, time It's a lot more expensive than money. Time is our most valuable resource. Let's respect our time. And if we cannot respect our time, let's respect the other time. And be strategic. Choose your associate wisely. I mentioned before, build strong, powerful relationship. Have a positive attitude because mindset is everything. Business etiquette. This is such an important thing. And we should always have this in mind. And maintain a professional image online. Our physical image should resonate with your online one. And I had a talk with someone at a point, and he's a CEO. He have a huge, we collaborate. His company is huge, and he always tells his staff, don't ever put an online picture that you wouldn't want me to see it. So I could say the same, that we should always think that we wouldn't like to have an image that our CEO or boss or partners would like to see. And something that I have in mind and I love what Richard Branson said. Rebecca mentioned something about Richard Branson, and she mentioned also something about feeling and perception, which I realize that we resonate. I love Richard Branson. He is so authentic and he has that unicity that it's beyond and above anything normal. And I like what he said. Branding demands commitment to continual reinvention, striking chord with people to stir their emotions, and commitment to imagination. It is easy to be cynical about such things, much harder to be successful. I could talk all day. I'll stop here. Thank you. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions. I would love to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Raluca, for this beautiful, majestic presentation as usual. And thank you again for all your support, smiles, and strengths for creative women shining around the world. Thank you.